Norfolk is now in session. The opening prayer will be given by Councilwoman Angela Williams. Will you please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Thank you.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, and thank you for your many displays of love through tangible and intangible blessings, too numerous to measure. We are truly a city that is better than blessed and have much to be thankful for. Bless the city of Norfolk and every citizen who resides within its boundaries, every city employee who works to make our city great. Father, bless our mayor, our city manager, and this council as we labor together in the calling of public service. Give us the wisdom to govern fairly and ethically with equality, integrity, compassion, and allow us to represent our city in a spirit of excellence. I pray that you will guide us through these difficult economic times and give us the strength and wisdom we need to make the decisions that face us. This is our prayer in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic. That's great, isn't it? Thank you. Thank you all for joining in. Great. The clerk will please call the roll.
This is so.
Mr. Burford.
This is so.
Here. Mr. Protogiru.
Here.
Mr. Riddick.
Here.
Mr. Smeagol.
Here.
Dr. Whibley.
Here.
Ms. Williams. Mr. Wynn.
Here.
Mr. Frame.
Here, the motion is to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting, please.
Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Protogiru.
Aye.
Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smeagol.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams. Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Norfolk City Council Chambers. We're glad to have all of you here. For those of you who do not regularly attend our council sessions, there are several of you out there.
Get mine.
The process which we're going to follow is the first thing we're going to do is take up public hearings. And we have on the agenda, we have 6 public hearings. After we do that, we'll move directly to the consent agenda. Those are that's a sort of an informal item for us. There are 2 matters there. We can vote on both of those matters in one vote if the council wishes. Then we'll move directly to the regular agenda. There are 4 or 5 matters there. All of these matters, we'll vote on them in an order in just the way that they are numbered on the printed docket. At the conclusion of the formal agenda, if any member of the public would like to address the City Council on a non-agenda item, that's something that's not on the printed docket, you'll be given that opportunity. In order to have your name called, though, you have to sign a slip of paper, which the clerk has made available in the rear of the council chambers before the meeting began. So, again, thank you for coming, and there are no ceremonial matters, so we'll move directly to public hearing number 1, please.
Public hearing 1 scheduled for this day pursuant to action of council on June 28, 2011. Under state law, public notice having been inserted in the local press by the city clerk on the application of the city of Norfolk to change the zoning from R14 High Density Multiple Family District to C2 Quarter Commercial District on property located at 1227 West Little Creek Road. By 4-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval.
All right, there are no members of the public signed up to address the council in this matter. If there are no questions, the clerk will call the roll, please.
I have an ordinance to rezone property located at 1227 West Little Creek Road from R14 to C2. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Protogiru. Aye. Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smeagol.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, public hearing 2, please.
Public hearing 2 scheduled for this day pursuant to action of council on June 28, 2011. Under state law, public notice having been inserted in the local press by the city clerk on the application of James Braddock to change the zoning from R71 Family District to conditional R10 Townhouse District on property located at 8210 through 8226 Tidewater Drive. And by 4-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval.
Okay, Mr. Ben Braddock is here. He is an applicant and a proponent as well. And also Mr. Andy McPhee is here to answer questions if anyone has any. There are no members of the public signed up to address the council. If there are no questions, you can call the roll, please.
I have an ordinance to rezone property located at 8210 and 8226 Tidewater Drive from R7 to conditional R10. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford. Aye. Mr. Protogiru. Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smeagol.
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye, public hearing 3, please.
Public hearing 3 scheduled for this day pursuant to action of council on June 28, 2011, under state law, public notice having been inserted in the local press by the city clerk on the application of Filipino Christian Church to A, amend the general plan of Norfolk 1992 from low-density residential to institutional, and B, change the zoning from R7 and R8 one-family to conditional I-1 institutional district on property located at 5204, 5225 through 5231 Elmhurst Avenue and 5228 Kennebec Road. And by 4-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval.
Mr. Nelson Navarro, who is the agent for and the proponent, is here to answer questions if anyone has any. There are no other members of the public signed up. Okay, call the roll, please.
I have two ordinances. The first is to amend the general plan of Norfolk 1992 so as to change the land use designation for properties located at 5204 and 5225 through 5231 Elmhurst Avenue and 5228 Kennebec Avenue from low-density residential to institutional. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye.
And the second is an ordinance to rezone properties located at 5204 and 5225 through 5231 Elmhurst Avenue and 5228 Kennebec Avenue from R7 to conditional I-1. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. Public hearing 4, please.
Public hearing 4 scheduled for this day pursuant to action of council on July 12, 2011, under state law. Public notice having been inserted in the local press by the city clerk to hear comments on a request by the Virginia Arts Festival Realty LLC for exemption from real property taxes at property located at 440 Bank Street.
All right, no members of the public are signed up to address the council on this matter. So you can call the roll, please.
I have an ordinance granting an exemption from real estate taxes to Virginia Arts Festival Realty LLC for real property located at 440 Bank Street. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Well, we said we didn't get to this today. We're going to just vote on the public hearing today.
Yep.
They have the public hearing.
No, this is the matter. This is the Arts Festival building we talked about. It's the Arts Festival and the Hurrah players to grant them
The exemption.
the exemption.
Okay. Aye.
Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. Okay, public hearing 5.
Public hearing 5 scheduled for this day pursuant to action of council on July 12, 2011, under state law. Public notice having been inserted in the local press by the city clerk to hear comments on a request by the Hurrah Players for exemption from real property taxes at property located at 485 St. Paul's Boulevard. And I have an ordinance granting an exemption from real estate taxes to the Hurrah Players, Inc. for real property located at 485 St. Paul's Boulevard. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. Public hearing 6, please.
Public hearing 6 scheduled for this day pursuant to action of council on July 12, 2011, under state law. Public notice having been inserted in the local press by the city clerk on the application of Green at Ghent by John Wheeler to change the zoning from C2 Corridor Commercial District to conditional G1 Grammy-Monticello Corridor Mixed Use District at 110 through 118 17th Street, 1703 through 1717 Monticello Avenue, 113 through 115 18th Street, and 1700 to 1720 Granby Street. By 3-1 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval.
Okay, there are 4 members of the group who is the applicant, including Randy Hoover's here. Tom Rettenauer is here to answer questions. Steve, is it Streitlitz? I'm sorry. And then Brian Goodlow is here to answer any questions, if anyone has any. I think if you want to, questions. Okay, call the roll.
Well, I guess I would say, both Barclay and I had heard from the Ghent Neighborhood League about some concerns. And if it'd be okay if Frank could maybe address those concerns
It was parked.
regarding parking and the green space. Would that be all right?
Sure. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Just for clarification for,
Right.
I should note that the parking issue is actually associated with item R4 on your agenda, which is associated with this project as well. That's the downtown development certificate for this project. Typically in Norfolk, we would require 1.9 parking spaces per dwelling units with an apartment development. This particular development has proposed a parking ratio of 1.6 spaces per unit, which is lower than what we would typically require. So the downtown development certificate does include a waiver. I would note, however, that the parking that the applicant has proposed is more parking than would be required under the ordinance revisions you have directed the planning department to move forward with, applying the new ITE, or Institute for Transportation Engineers, parking standards in an urban setting. That would be around 1.4 parking spaces per unit. So this is more the applicant is proposing to provide more parking than we would typically be requiring with the ordinance revisions you've directed us to move forward, which is why we recommended approval and why the Planning Commission also recommended approval of that waiver. The other issue dealt with open space and a question of, did the ordinance require that open space be publicly accessible? It does not. It only requires that the open space be available for use by residents of the particular project. In the 4 years that I have been in Norfolk, we have had one project. The Bonaventure project is up near Roland Park, is the only one that made any proffer for public access to their open space. Every other project since I have been here, the open space has been purely for use by residents.
Okay, thank you.
Frank, there was one planning commissioner that opposed it. Was there a reason given for their opposition?
Yes. One member of the Planning Commission voted against this rezoning, and his stated reason was he thought the project should have to go through design review. Well, the issue we have with that is the downtown development certificate. The downtown development certificate is required for any project in a downtown district. The G1 is a downtown district, and once the downtown development certificate is approved by council, it can't be varied. And so with the downtown development certificate, City Council is actually able to look at the elevations of the project, the architecture of the project, and agree that they think this is appropriate. The other members of the Planning Commission were satisfied that the downtown development certificate offered protection for the architectural integrity of the project and recommended approval.
And Frank, you recommend approval?
I do, yes, sir.
This was also presented to the Ghent Task Force, which approved it.
And just for Ghent Neighborhood League, we had already had a lengthy meeting about parking requirements, and we're in the process of revising them, and these do exceed that requirement substantially.
And is consistent with it.
Right.
Okay. Call the roll.
Mr. President.
Yes.
I have an ordinance to rezone properties located at 110 through 118 17th Street, 1703 through 1717 Monticello Avenue, 113 and 115 18th Street, and 1700 through 1720 Granby Street from C2 to conditional G1. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Protogiru? Aye. Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, thank you. All right, the consent agenda. Would any member of the council like to have either one of these matters considered separately? If not, the Bambino there at LLC. Okay, I'll call the roll, please.
Approve the consent agenda, Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Protogiru? Mr. Riddick? Aye. Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. R1.
R1 is an ordinance to amend and reordain sections 14.1-71, 72, and subsection 14.1-7416 of the Norfolk City Code 1979 to repeal sections 14.1-70 and 136 and subsection 14.1-7424 and to add sections 14.1-68 and 134 and 7530 so as to establish the Mary D. Pretlow Library Precinct, establish a voting place for the Mary D. Pretlow Library Precinct, add the Mary D. Pretlow Library Precinct to Super Ward 6, and move the Baron F. Black Library Precinct from Super Ward 6 to Super Ward 7. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Protogiru? Aye. Mr. Riddick?
Yeah, I vote aye for this particular agenda item, but I still have concerns about how we're configured as a city as far as our wards are concerned. Vote aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye. R2.
I spoke no.
An ordinance granting a special exception to operate an entertainment establishment on property located at 767 Granby Street. By 5-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R2A.
Ordinance granting a special exception to permit off-lot parking on property located at 820 to 838 Granby Street. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R3.
An ordinance approving and authorizing the conveyance of a variable width utility easement to Hampton Road Sanitation District relative to certain property bounded by Armistead Bridge Road and Woodrow Avenue and approving the terms of the deed of easement. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance.
Just a second. Dan Montague. Dan?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Mr. Jones, long time no see. My name is Dan Montague. I live at 4605 Creek Street here in the city of Norfolk. I am all for this, anything that'll keep my HR bill down, you know, because it started out in March at 48.73, and in August, my present bill is 73.33. And anyway, I don't wash cars, I don't water my grass, any of that kind of stuff. And I'm the only one in my house. And the thing about it is, I think that is a heck of a lot of money for one person. Right now, but this bill will be $30 to let them pick up my little bag here, put these out, one of these a week, okay, and it's not even full. And the thing about it is, you know, we need to do something about this because I haven't had a raise on my Social Security check in 2 years, and so anyway, you know, I don't see how in the world you guys can keep raising prices, you know, because SEPTA is almost extinct, you know, and so the thing about it is, we need to look into the situation because, like I say, you know, when you go from $48 to $73, you know, that's a good chunk of change. You know, I can go out and have fun on a night, you know, with the difference. Thank you.
You tired from Sunday there?
Huh?
Are you tired from Sunday?
Okay.
Did I retire from Sunday?
Are you tired from Sunday? I heard you
Dancing in
danced
the
quite a
park.
bit on Sunday.
Okay, next.
You were dancing again.
You were dancing Sunday.
I always dance.
All right.
Call the roll. Call the roll, please. Call the roll. Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Protogiru?
Aye.
Mr. Riddick?
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wynn?
Aye.
Mr. Frame?
Aye, R4, please.
An ordinance granting a downtown development certificate to permit the construction of a multiple-family residential development. By 4-0 vote, Planning Commission recommends approval.
Second, Henry Condi, do you want to speak up?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Henry Condi. I'm president of the Civic League. Even though you have to sign up for or against, I had to sign against, but I just want to clarify that we're not against the project itself. The issue here has to do with parking. One. Number two is the second issue is that we were briefed back in May, and we had an individual, Marilyn Booker, who asked the question specifically about parking, and if the parking was consistent with the current zoning regulations, the answer was yes. I read the article in the paper this morning. There were no oppositions, absolutely, because we didn't know about the parking exemption. I hear what Frank says about the ITE recommendations, but I need to remind council that Ghent is, concerning parking, it's a red hot button. I have a neighbor who right now has a Nancy Chandler sign, and he's leaving because he can no longer park in front of his home. I have a good friend from a business perspective, Jim Nero Antiques on Colonial Avenue. Across his business, there's 4 parking spots right now occupied for 4 vehicles from 2 and 3 blocks away that are multiple vehicles belonging to somebody in apartments, and he cannot have his businesses, his customers. Why? Because it's not metered, so on and so forth. And so if we're looking at anything 1.9 or 1.6 or potentially 1.4 in ITE, it may make sense somewhere else in the city. But but not necessarily in Ghent. So I want you to really think about this, to adopt in a one-size-fits-all on 1.4, because right now it's very, very difficult to do any parking. And that's the reason why I'm here, because we were briefed back in May that it was in compliance with the current zoning regulations. It was a complete surprise. And that's why I'm hoping that we either continue this, have some several discussions, because the project is not due to start until 2012, completion 2013. But parking is certainly a key quality of life, quality of the neighborhood issue. And I know we have had several discussions on similar topics, but this particular one is going to be problematic.
All right, thank you. I'm ready to call a roll. Let's call a roll.
Can I just, so I can understand something, Terry? Terry, I thought this was I thought you said it was worked out, and now this gentleman's saying it's not worked out, the parking issue?
Well, he doesn't agree that with the recommendation from the city that, in accordance with the urban planning board, that parking be required at 1.4. This is 1.6. We as a city are moving down to change our parking requirements. Frank, correct me if I'm misstating this.
That's right.
Down to 1.4 for urban areas.
Right.
So we feel this is consistent with what we as a city are working toward for parking. This is 1.6. Right now, the rules are 1.9.
I wouldn't, and I think the issue about parking is certainly,
It's a very
it's a very
important one.
important one, but I would not want to hold this really superior project hostage to the overall issue about parking in Ghent. And we need to come to,
Especially
we've tried to
considering-
come to terms with that. You know, some years ago, we bought some pretty expensive lots, and we put in some other, we put in a couple parking, one big parking lot. But this project is not, whether it's 1.6 or 1.9, is not going to be the answer to the parking issues in Ghent. I mean,
And I would also say, Henry, I think the location of this and where it is off of Monticello is not consistent with the problems that we are trying to solve in the Ghent areas in Redgate. And I do want to tell you that we are working on a global citywide issue about residential parking because many of the issues we have around Old Dominion and Larchmont and similarly Ghent struggles with that. So I don't think, I think we're going to work on the problem that you're addressing, but I think this one is consistent with what we're trying to do in urban centers in this type of area.
I understand about the comparing to 1.4 where you want to go, but the reality is the current regulation is 1.9. That's what we were briefed.
Right.
And that's why there were no opposition. And this is a last minute change. We're not opposed to the project. We welcome the project. It's an issue of.
that's why we need to have that larger conversation, so.
And I would say for the developers to not, for whatever reason, you know, he wouldn't be here, I think, if we'd have gotten, or the understanding, and I don't know who made the mistake in the presentation or what, but certainly you have a right to have some alarm when you find out in the paper the day before that there's been a change. So we need to be more careful about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, Brett.
Better clarification.
Dispense with the charter requirement for reading the ordinance and adopt. Mr. Burford?
Aye.
Mr. Protogiru?
If I could, I'm going to vote aye. However, I just want to make sure I did vote aye on the PH 6. And where this is located, and I do believe that's significant to me. There's apartments next to it that are attractive. It's taking out some businesses that I know have recently closed or are
Vacant.
not performing. So it is in a location that does make sense to make that move from commercial to the residential. And I'm comfortable with that. And I do understand that the task force approved it, and the neighbor's not against it. But I do think, Frank, we do need to, you need to maybe perhaps educate me better on the parking issues and how we look at that. Because that did cause me pause, and maybe that's just my own not understanding that situation. But I do have problems with that. But where this is located does not give me a problem. So it's aye.
Mr. Riddick.
Aye.
Mr. Smigiel,
Aye.
Dr. Whibley.
I promise we will continue the parking issue, because it's a big one. Aye.
Ms. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Wynn.
Aye.
Mr. Frame.
Aye.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Okay, that concludes the formal portion of tonight's agenda.